Well, I would say that this 3-day conference organized by Hans Seidel Foundation has been very educative and very productive. We know that 28 countries of the world have adopted federal form of government. In one place, we can say that since they are all federal, there must be a lot of commonalities among them. But then each federal system has evolved in the context of a particular history, in the context of a particular circumstance. So there are diversities also in all the federal systems. Sitting together under a roof makes us able to see each other's experiences and to learn from each other. In the last 3 days, I think we have learned a lot. And one thing that I have learned is this, that among all the countries where diversity is the major factor, where diversity defines their societies, their federalism is the best answer. Federalism is the best system that addresses the rationale of the society. And the other thing that I have learned is this, that we can learn a lot from each other's experiences. Politics is a very creative art, I would say. And wherever a successful federal system is operating, certainly some creative work has been done by that society and their politicians. We must learn from each other. We must see what are the weaknesses of different systems and how can we avoid those weaknesses in our own experience and build our own systems as appropriate as possible. I would say that Pakistan has suffered a lot on the political course. It has bewildered a lot in the last 60, 65 years. This country came into being with the objective that it would be a federal country. It will have parliamentary form of government. But unfortunately, soon after independence, Pakistan was taken over by extra political forces. And as a result of that, in the last 65 years, while we had only almost 30 or 32 years of civilian regimes, we had almost a similar period of military regimes. So the discontinuity of the political process has taken its toll. I always say that the separation of East Pakistan is primarily the result of the denial of political process in Pakistan. But then in 1973, we adopted a constitution which again, unfortunately, was suspended or put in abeyance twice by military rulers. Now that we have a civilian regime once again, and it's good that the last civilian regime completed its 5-year term, which is for the first time in Pakistan's history that a civilian regime has completed its term. Moreover, the 1973 constitution has been restored in spirit and words, and an 18th amendment has been added to it, which has brought a paradigm shift in the federal system of Pakistan. Now, Pakistan is more devolved than what it had been in the past, and Pakistan is more devolved than many other countries of the world. A number of subjects have been given to the provinces. 34 functions have been shifted to the provinces. 17 federal ministries have been abolished. So it's a very, very meaningful shift in the constitutional federalism of the country. As far as the future of the Pakistani federalism is concerned, I would say that if the political process continues in the country and the commitment of our political class to the principles of federalism continues, and if the idea of provincial autonomy remains sacrosanct with the political leadership, then there is every reason why Pakistan's federalism will flourish. I think that in the last 2 years or 2.5 years since the introduction of 18th Amendment, a number of considerations that perhaps it would fail, they have not materialized, and the system has taken roots. I think that with the passage of time and continuity of the same spirit, and accommodation, a feeling of accommodation among the political leadership, if that continues, Pakistan's federalism will develop, it will render results. And I think that next step would be how the powers that have been shifted from the federation to the provinces further filter down to the localities and the local government system, which is the third tier of government that also becomes visible in Pakistan, and not only visible, but an effective system. So I'm quite hopeful about the federal future of Pakistan.